Do you realize that we only have one team left? We're going to get to them in a second. We have only put 3 teams, Rogue,
Yeah.
G2, and Cloud9,
Yep.
outside of Group Stage Plaza. Can I just
I
make that point?
mean,
Olive Garden
that's
is going to
how
go
I
out of
feel
business.
that's how I feel about the West right now.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
This sums up the West quite well, Arda. This sums up the West quite well, where there's a few diamonds in the rough. And just think if like we were doing every team LPL and we include LCK teams in this, maybe we'll do that next week or the week after. Like,
Sure.
there's a lot more partying going on. There's a lot more high dying. The clubs up in Final Four Palace and the quarterfinal Village are popping with Asian teams. Rookie and Naguri.
There's also just a lot more defined play styles, I
Yeah.
think. That's why I give like G2 credit. I give Fnatic credit. I give the last team that we're going to talk about credit for that as well. That we haven't mentioned yet.
Continue your thought. Let's get right into it. Mad Lions,
Mad
the flopping
Lions,
fish.
my team.
Qualifiers.
What? Get out of here.
Qualifiers.
Qualifiers.
You're
Oh,
just
no.
mad
One
that
and
I
done.
didn't put
See you
Rogue in
later. Goodbye,
semifinals.
Carzy. I hope you enjoy your flopping fish celebrations elsewhere.
His Shadow's just sitting there sadly playing his glass that he stole off of the desk. I think so. It has been no secret of how much I love Mad Lions and what they brought to the LEC, both in game and out of game, be it their play style or their victory celebrations. I actually feel exactly the same about them as I do feel about Rogue, where I think they get a strong break, and they could be a semifinalist team, but I would still kind of put them in quarterfinals. I think them and Rogue are 2 teams that I will not be shocked if they I won't be like, oh my gosh, I'm totally floored that this team made semifinals, because again, reiterating, we never know how the bracket is going to end up. We never know like you can never get the way that League of Legends seeding works right now, a definitive evenness across the board in terms of how strong these teams are. So if they get a lucky break, I think they can make semis, but I would put them solidly in quarterfinals.
Okay. Making some progress out of Group Stage Plaza, Mad Lions.
Yeah,
Good job.
Yeah, I think Rogue and Mad Lions are pretty much like brother and sister, right? Like they're family, they're kin at this point. They can't think of one without the other. They're the new age G2 and Fnatic, where they're kind of hand in hand with everything they go. And I do think like Rogue and Mad Lions both hang out at Group Stage Plaza for a bit. They say hello. They do their condolences. Hi, Team Liquid. Hi, NA. Oh, you look terrible, EG. Like, oh, you should have played Jizuke. Like, they give their condolences in Group Stage Plaza, have a bridge stick or 2. They go 4-2, 5-1 in the group stage. They pop up into the quarterfinals, into the quarterfinal village. I do agree with Emily where this is the team, if they get on a run, if they get the right side of the bracket, similarly to C9 in 2018. I do think the team, Mad's better than the C9 team from 2018, but I do think they have that similar approach where if they get the right matchups, they have the right mechanical skill where they can just break down a team if a team's playing slow. I think they would match up well with a few of the Asian teams. I picked Rogue top 4, and as a Rogue fanboy, that was a lot of Rogue fanboyness coming out of me in that moment. I think quarterfinal Plaza is it's not quarterfinal. The quarterfinal village is probably the place where we would be most safe. I think them and Rogue hanging out,
Yeah, I put them exactly even with Rogue. I mean, if you want to keep Rogue above them, just because Rogue beat them in the regular season most recently, and finished ahead of them,
they're above
and
C9.
Already qualified, go for it. But I don't think they go any lower than right below Rogue. And even then, again, I see them exactly similar, where I'm like quarterfinals definitely. Semifinals maybe, depending on how strong or weak their side of the bracket is.
So to further the food analogy here, what we're saying is Mad Lions are going to save their appetite by going to Olive Garden for lunch, but they're not going to indulge in the all-you-can-eat breadsticks. They're going to leave the carbs alone, and they're just going to have a salad. Then they're going to go to Top 8 Village, but they're still not going to top out there because they feel like they can have a more exquisite meal in top 4 Palace. The problem is they're going to undereat in the village, and then they're going to go home hungry because they
This
won't
is
be able to
becoming very
experience the
complex.
Palace. That's what's going to happen.
No, it's actually a fitting analogy, right? Where I do think they're set up as a team that, in every anime, my friends, all the weebs out there, like there's always the anime where the main characters gotta go to the tournament and they get pretty far, but then they lose to a much better, more experienced teams in the top 8, the semifinals, or before they can really make that deep run into the tournament. I see that for Mad Lions, right? Where I definitely see a world where they make top 8. They might even top their group. They might have a very good group stage where they go number 1, but then they play a team like IG, where everyone goes, "Oh man, there's no way Mad Lions can beat or lose to IG. IG looks terrible." And IG, with their experience, with just their pure mechanical skill, beats them, or a Damwon, or a Top, or a JDG. And I think of all these Asian teams that I feel a little bit more comfortable about, a little bit more confident about the Mad Lions, who are so young and inexperienced and going to Worlds. Traveling to Shanghai into this bubble format might be a bit of a culture shock. It might be a lot more difficult for a lot of the team. So I say top 8 is a very respectable finish for them. I do think they have potential for top 4, even a finals run, if everything lines up perfectly. But I think to be a bit more cautious, I say I would rank them below Rogue, in front of Cloud9 in quarterfinal village.